Okay, we're ready to go ahead and get started. At the University of Florida, we've got defensive coordinator Charlie Strong, as well as linebacker Brandon Spikes and defensive lineman Jermaine Cunningham. Charlie, we'll just get started with you. Just a general comment about your preparation so far. And while Charlie's answering that question, if you put your hands up and we'll get started with questions.
Well, the preparation has been going very well. And our major concern right now with Oklahoma is just the tempo. And we know this, we're going to have to tackle well. They're an outstanding football team, do a great job of spreading the ball around on offense, have an outstanding quarterback in Bradford. But our players understand what's the task at hand. It's going to be a great challenge for us, and we're more than welcome for the challenge.
Yeah, Charlie, could you talk a little bit about how you try to slow them down? I mean, do you have to go into this game thinking they're going to get their points? I mean, this is an offense that has scored 60-plus points 5 games in a row. Can you just talk a little bit about how you slow them down and the fact that they play such at a high tempo and how you get ready for that?
Well, our major concern is when you look at us, each game we've averaged anywhere from 60 to 65 plays a game. And when you look at that offense, they're averaging anywhere from 85 to 90 plays a game. So it's more tempo. And what we've been trying to do is it's hard to really practice just to simulate just getting those plays in. But, we've been trying to just practice at a fast tempo, and we're getting guys up on the football. And they're averaging, you look at them the last 5 games, 60-plus points. And, but the thing about it is we know this. We play good defense, and we just have to get lined up. We have to get lined up on defense, and we have to tackle well.
Do you guys watch these bowl games that have been happening and pay attention at all to these Big 12 offenses, Brandon, and what they've been doing? Are you aware of that, or are you just focused on your game?
Well, personally, I haven't really watched too many bowl games. I've just been focusing on Oklahoma, so I really couldn't tell you how that conference is going.
So. Jermaine?
I feel the same way, Brandon Spikes. We just been going 100%. Every practice, just trying to play the best we can.
Hands up, Danny.
Brandon, you guys have had such a great year defensively, and the offense, obviously, of Florida gets so much of the talk, but probably the unsung story of this football team is how good this defense has been. You've been around Florida. You've been around some great defense. Talk about this defense and what makes it so good.
Well, I think we had a lot of younger guys, just step up to the plate. They made a personal decision. And they wanted to come out and, play, Florida traditional defense. And I think we done that. Our offseason, that was a really big part of, younger guys kind of attacked that and took that in. We knew if we worked hard in the offseason, it'll all pay off. And I think that's what happened this season, we've been playing good, every Saturday. And just, it's stepping stones, after we got beat by Ole Miss, I think that was the reality check for us, that we was beatable, and guys just started doing all the smaller things, and, it kind of worked out for us.
Jermaine, could you just talk about the need to try and get pressure on Sam Bradford, how important it's going to be for you guys on the line to be able to generate some rush to where you don't have to always blitz if you want to get pressure on him, just the job of getting to the quarterback?
With the type of offense they run, how they do the hurry up offense, we just got to hurry up and get set, and just do what we've been doing, just playing football. Every quarterback, you get pressure on them, knock them down, sack them a couple times. It'll always mess up their rotation, how they throwing the ball. So we just need to just get to Sam Bradford and get in his head.
A couple questions for both of you guys. What is it like going against Tebow in practice, each day? That guy's so intense. Just talk about that a little bit.
Oh, man, it's just, it's an honor just to be on the same team with a guy like that. He's just, he's a winner, from, I guess, when he wakes up in the morning, he's trying to figure out how he can get better, and, it helps this team. But, just to watch him grind and his preparation of the game, is really good for younger guys and guys like myself, just, it's always a way you can get better, and that's how he kind of approached the game. So.
Same thing for you, Jermaine.
I'm just Tebow, every time he goes to practice, he goes try to get better. It's one thing you do when you go to practice, either get better or get worse. And every time he comes to practice, he's trying to get better and make everybody around him better. So we just try to feed off of Tebow, Spikes too, just everybody just trying to get better.
So much is talked about him, being this great football player, Heisman Trophy winner, but just talk about some of the things that he does off the field. It seems like that's just as big as the things that he does on the field.
Oh yeah, this seems it's kind of amazing to me too. He has a chance to give back to the community. Some guys go to spring break, stuff like that. Then again, Tebow takes his time with disabled kids and just everything, man. Every time he gets the opportunity to do anything with the community, he's there. And I kind of look up to that because he don't never really make a personal decision as he's too tired to do this, he's too tired to do it. He just sucks it up and do it. So.
Brandon and Jermaine, talk about the time that you guys have had, the downtime that you guys have had the past couple of days through the holidays, and how you guys maintain your focus and intensity for this game.
We had a couple of days off, but the main thing is just when we get back to go to work, we just go to work 100 miles per hour so we won't lose a beat.
Well, we have a thing, these 3 phases we go throughout the bowl preparation. They do our coaching staff, they do a really good job of keeping guys in shape, making sure they're making their weight, staying game ready. So, we're not concerned about that. We're just trying to stop Oklahoma, their explosive offense.
Coach Strong, how important is Tim Tebow to your defensive schemes? Seeing that guy practice every day, preparing for a Sam Bradford, any other quarterback over the last couple of years?
Well, these guys have said it. Tim Tebow is a winner. And you just look at him and everyone around him, he make them better. And the thing about Tebow is, like Brandon has said earlier, every decision he makes is for the football team. And anything we want him to do, we ask him to go play scout team quarterback for us just to make us a better defense, he'll do it. But he's a winner, and everybody around him, he makes him a better football player.
Charlie, Brandon and Jermaine have been kind of impact players since they've come to campus. Can you talk about the development, though, of Ryan Stamper and what he's brought to your defensive side of the ball?
Ryan Stamper, the most reliable football player on our team. If you were to take a football player, and you can ask these 2 guys right here, just say, if you were to take a guy on our football team and say, who's a guy that you can always count on? Ryan Stamper. Every guy on our football team would say that. But it's not only the development of Ryan Stamper. If you look at our football team, like Brandon Spikes became a good football player this year. You look at last year, we had some guys that played, and you talk about our defense last year. It's like the guy got to third base or whatever without ever hitting a baseball. And now the guys understand what it takes to be a good football player. Jermaine, Cunningham, Spikes, our whole defense, guys have really stepped up. You looking in the other room, there's Ahmad Black, someone that we didn't even hear about last year. He was just a special teams player. Ahmad has came on, he's become a good football player for us. But this whole defense, I don't know if these guys realize how good they are, and they're a good football team, a good defensive team, and they don't realize how good they are, but we do have a good defense.
And as a follow-up, I know you've been around some great defenses at Florida, and I know you still have one huge game left to play, but this particular defense, can you put in perspective just how good they've been this year?
Well, like you said, in 2006 we had a really good defensive football team, but we had a group of guys on that team with Moss, with a Reggie Nelson. You had some first rounders, and you're going to have some guys that are going to develop on this defense in the first rounders. But right now, those guys haven't developed. You have a defense now that is a good, solid team, a defensive team, where guys understand that they don't want to let anyone else down. And that's the way they play. Each week they play like that. I cannot let my teammate down. And we always talk about win every play, and these guys understand it. You have to win every play, and that's what they're trying to do, win every play.
Coach, could you talk about the matchup with Gresham for Oklahoma, just what kind of things he does well and how you try and defend him?
Well, he's a big tight end that can run and catch the football, and he will be a matchup problem for us. And what we have to do is, there's times where we're going to play some man coverage and we're going to have to go cover him. But he does a great job of running routes, does a great job once he catches the ball, can run away from defenders. But he's a matchup problem for us.
This one's for the players. You guys talked about focusing on football. It's got to be somewhat impossible to do that at all times. I mean, how much do you look forward to events like tonight? You guys have a beach barbecue planned and stuff like that. How much do you guys look forward to getting away from the field just a little bit to experience South Florida?
Well, I think it's important, to experience South Florida. It's a great place, a beautiful place. But, you know, we here on a business trip. You know, we can't really let, you know, distractions like that, you know, get in with our team and stuff like that. So, you know, we just, you know, we here on a business trip. We here to win, and that's it. So.
Yeah, we is here on a business trip, but you know, you can't be with football 24/7. You know, sometimes you got to go and relieve your mind. But while we're down here, we just got to know that, what's the task at hand. Just come and take care of the task at hand.
Hi, Coach. Can you and any of the players can you talk about the running game of Oklahoma, and is that sometimes overlooked? And with DeMarco Murray out, how will that affect things? And a little about Chris Brown.
Well, DeMarco was an outstanding football player. And, you know, you hate to see any player with an injury in a big game like this where he has a chance to miss it. But Brown also rushed for 1,000 yards. And the running game is a concern for us. And we know this. Each time that we go into a game, we want to talk about stopping the run. And that's the thing. We always talk about that because what you try to do is make a team one-dimensional. And you allow a team to run and throw the ball, then you have problems. And we're going to approach this game the same way. We're going to have to stop the run. And with Brown, we know this. Like I said, he's gained 1,000 yards rushing, and we're going to have to approach his game, and we're going to have to stop the run.
Hands up.
This is for the two players. Guys, could you just talk about Bradford, what you see out of him, what particularly stands out that looks impressive to you, and is there anybody else you've seen in your careers so far that he reminds you of?
Well, I think Bradford, you know, he does a great job of managing the offense. You know, he gets the guys lined up. You know, they get their checks in. You know, and they own the ball before you know it. You know, they up. You know, they're running another play. But you know, as far as his, you know, his throwing ability, and he scans the defense, and you know, he knows what coverages, you know, going on. I think he do a really great job of that, and I think he does a good job of throwing the ball. You know, on a tight line. You know, if we playing man, we're gonna have to stick him because he'll get the ball. You know, we can't let him really sit back and sling the ball, you know, that kind of mess up our defensive scheme. So we want to pressure that guy. But, you know, other players on the team, I think their offensive liners, you know, they're really, you know, really big and athletic. So we got to do a great job. The linebackers got to come downhill, you know, and try to get off blocks and make plays. So.
With Sam Bradford being a Heisman winner, you know, the defense, we just got to try to contain them, you know, just try to get pressures on him, trying to make sure he don't get on rhythm, just keep him off rhythm, because once he gets on rhythm, he's one of the best throwing the ball. He just reads the defenses and controls the offense real good, so we just got to make sure he don't get off on rhythm.
Brandon, excuse me, the outstanding suit you wore yesterday. That's your good luck suit. Did you wear that 2 years ago, and will you don that again at all in the next week?
Yeah, I'm kind of superstitious, so I figured, you know, we won big out of Arizona my freshman year, so I figured I'd throw it on one more year, you know, what the heck. So that's what I did. You know, it's kind of nice. My mother made it for me, so.
Hands up.
It's sort of been made up in the media that the Big 12 is all offense, and there's Oklahoma, and the SEC is all defense, and there's Florida's defense. Do you guys take it a little bit of a personal challenge to prove the SEC way is better and the defense wins out over offense?
Well, I think they're having a great year this year. You know, their quarterbacks, you know, the offensive attacks, you know, they really, you know, they turn it up out there. But I feel like this will be a defensive game. You know, defense win championships, so I feel like whoever defense comes, you know, who comes to play and show up and get stops and, you know, cause turnovers, I feel like, you know, we'll win the game. Whoever defense plays the best will win the game. So, you know, offense sell tickets and defense win the championship. So.
Hands up.
Brandon, how much does it help that you guys, I mean, it's a different city, obviously, but you've been here at the national title game before. You've won it. How much is that helping so far?
Well, it's critical with the experience aspect. You know, we had guys like me and Jermaine, you know, in 06, we was able to experience that opportunity. You know, we was around guys that, you know, they knew what it took to get here, and they knew what it took to win the championship. So, you know, with that on our hands, I think that'll help us out. You know, we know what to expect, you know, as far as this phase of practicing when we get ready to go practice. You know, we really can't let outside distractions, you know, bother the team. You know, we got to keep all the watch and stuff like that, and keep the most importantly, keep the younger guys, you know, focused. You know, because it's very easy. You know, this place there in South Florida is very easy. You know, get off the task of what we're here for. So I think knowing that we've done it before, in 06, I think we know that we can do it again. So as long as we stay focused.
Charlie, from your perspective as a coordinator, having done that 2 years ago?
Well, like Brandon said, what's really critical is coming here 2 years ago, or not here, but actually in Phoenix, is just the whole experience. And then just, you know, the preparation and getting guys ready to play. And then you look at the game, it's January the 8th. A lot of games are already going to be they are going to be finished by then. But just our whole focus and just the preparation of guys going out each day and competing. And he had spoken earlier about just phases. We try to break it down into 3 phases, where phase 1 is right when they finish their final exams. We practice for 3 or 4 days where we really get after it, and where guys go out and we hit. And then we let them go home for Christmas, and then we come back for phase 2. And then before we came here, we ended up, and now we go to phase 3. But we just break it down where guys understand, hey, there's 3 phases. Now you're in phase 3. So the preparation, there's game week now. So let's get ready for game week. And just like we've done all season, we've taken care of business, and this is the way we prepare, and this is the way we've been doing it.
This one's for the players. During the Orange Bowl on Thursday night, there were Gator fans walking around the parking lot and in the stadium doing the Gator chomp. Could you talk a little bit about the fan base and how this is almost a home game for you guys?
Oh, yeah. The Gator Nation, I'm pretty sure, you know, we'll kind of fill, you know, most of the seats. So, but, you know, when we figured the game would be here in Florida, we wanted to be here. You know, we kind of had a whole Florida base. The Gator Nation would be here. So, you know, I'm glad it's in Florida, and I'm pretty sure, you know, our fans will be, you know, quite happy that we're here, and they'll be ready to cheer. So,
I feel the Gator Nation probably one of the best fans in the country as far as college football. You know, after every game, you'll see the whole Gator Nation is still there waiting to sing the fight song. So, I think we got a pretty good fan support.
We've got time for one more question. Hands up. Okay, Charlie, thank you. Brandon, Jermaine.
thank you. Thanks.
You hear my lad, dog.
Okay, we're ready to get started. We've got a 20-minute session here, so keep that in mind as you plan your questions. From your left to right, linebacker Ryan Stamper, defensive back Major Wright, defensive back Oman Black, defensive back Joe Hayden. If you got a question for a particular player, please ask it in that regard. If you want all 4 to respond to the question, please say so. Hands up and we'll get started.
Question for Major. What's it like to be kind of home this week, and are there more distractions, or, you know, what's this week going to be like, do you think, for you?
It's kind of tough for me being home. A lot of kids calling me. They end up getting my number, calling me, trying to distract me. But unknown numbers, I really don't pick up, and I kind of trying to stay focused.
Hands up, questions.
Ryan, can you talk about, you know, just your development from leaving First Coast to high school and way back when? And originally, I think you were going to go to Auburn. You ended up going to Florida at the last second, and just the work that you've had to put in to get onto the football field here.
Well, yeah, just like you said, I committed to Auburn. Coach Mike came in when he got the job. You know, that pretty much changed my mind. Go to Florida, and my first year here, you know, I redshirted. Second year, didn't really play at all. You know, that was my redshirt freshman year. Last year, you know what I'm saying, I did pretty well, you know, on special teams. When I got in on defense, you know what I'm saying, did well. And this offseason that just passed was a big one for me. You know, I got weight room, bigger, stronger. Pretty much tried to become a leader on the field. And then just when the season just got here, you know, I just stepped my game up, and players started respecting me, coaches started respecting me, became a captain on the team, and it just now we're here now, and you know what I'm saying, it's been real good for me this year, so you know what I'm saying, I'm proud of that. So
this question's for a couple of you guys. How has having Tim Tebow on offense helped you guys as a defense, him being so dynamic out on the field, make you guys get better each and every week? First, I guess Ryan being the captain.
Well, Tim Tebow, you know what I'm saying, the energy he brings to the team just, you know what I'm saying, makes you want to, you know what I'm saying, play to the same level he's playing at. So just watching him at practice, you know what I'm saying, when we go doing through practice, when he's going against our twos, when our one defense going against our two offense, it just makes us want to practice even harder because, you know what I'm saying, he's out there having fun. So, you know what I'm saying, it's just when you out there just sweating and you tired and you like, damn, I'm sweating and tired, but this dude having fun. So, you know what I'm saying, make you just want to go out there and have fun and play and just, you know what I'm saying, get better.
Major talk about his intensity.
He's one of those guys that motivate you. He can get you up in the weight room. Say if you only bench 225 5 times, he's one of those guys that's going to make you get it 6 or 7 times.
Talk about him. Everybody's always talking about so much about him on the field, but just talk about him a little bit off the field. It seems like he's just as dynamic off the field.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's a primo. I mean, he does everything right. I mean, he's one of those guys that's just a leader on and off the field. He helps you on and off the field, Bible study. He kind of leads a Bible study, study groups, anything. Tebow is that guy.
Amon and Joe, same question.
Well, you know, Tebow stayed one complex over from me, and, you know, growing up with Stephen Wilkes over there a lot, so, you know, kind of have me over with Tebow a lot. So, you know, just him being there, just his presence, you know, bring up the whole room, and, you know, he nice guy. You know, he kind of aggressive off the field too. So, you know, he aggressive with everything he do. You know, he take care of himself and lives a great life.
Joe?
Well, with Tebow, his roommate Riley Cooper, me and him are really cool. So usually when I go over there, Tebow just chilling on the couch watching TV, and I just go over there just mess with him a lot, just play on the video games. So on and off the field, he's a really good dude. He'll just call you when he's about to go out to do something. So he'll just call you, you just go over there and chill with him.
Joe, I noticed the haircut. Could you show us each side just so we could get a good little shot of it, and then could you explain what each side means?
All right. Well, on this side, on the right side right here, I got a star and a 5 with my number. And on the other side, I got BCS 1. Not like we ranked number 1 in the BCS. It's just win the championship game, so I put number 1 right there.
Who did it?
It's this dude named Tony. I just met him, matter of fact, because last week, at the SEC, at the SEC championship, Trottow had a mohawk, and I liked the designs he had in his head, and I asked him who did it. I said, I'm going to get that for the national championship game. So then he told me, and then I went Thursday and got it done.
Think you can get Tebow to do that?
I don't know. I think I haven't even. Dang. I need to go ahead and ask him.
Earlier, Coach Strong was talking about Ryan Stanford, said he's the most reliable player on the team. What's he mean about that? What did he mean by saying that, I guess? Is it true for you guys? Do you agree?
I definitely agree with that. I always mess with Stanford all the time because he looks a lot older than he is. So we call Stanford the grown man of the defense because he just always does his job. Always just an accountable guy. Like a coach will tell you, right, left, right. Just be in this spot, do football position. And when you watch it on film, Stamp's doing that. He say, hold the B gap. Stamp's gonna be in the B gap. So just stuff like that, just little stuff coach tell him to do. He's always gonna be there.
Followed up by like what Joe said. Urban told him one day, hold your water one day in practice. And Stamp, he ended up holding his water. End up the whole practice, he ended up holding his water. The coach told him, hey, man, you got to go. But Stamp's still holding his water, you know. And it was kind of funny because, Coach told him to hold his water, and he ended up holding his water the whole practice. And, he's one of those guys that's accountable. He's a funny guy, you know. We talk a lot, and he's one of those guys that you can look up to.
Me and Stamp always, you know, joking around, but, you know, I joke around him and tell him he's an accountable guy, but, we joke around, but honestly, he is an accountable guy. You know, everybody on the team can count on Stamp to do his job and be in the right places at the right time. And, you know, nobody had doubts about his abilities at all.
Do you guys think the defense at Florida gets a little bit overlooked at times because of Tebow and the high-powered offense, and this defense that you guys have been a part of this year has been so dominant? There's been you've had stretches where the first team unit didn't allow a touchdown for games. I mean, 3, 4, 5 games. One of the best defenses in the country, but it seems like at Florida people talk about the offense and Tebow. Can you guys comment on that?
Well, the offense is a high-power offense. We got great guys, great personnel on the offense. Coaches do a real good job of getting them lined up and getting them in the right spots, and the scheme is a great scheme. But it get overlooked because we got great players, like I said, but we got a great defense too. So, we just keep them out the end zone and let the offense score. That's how you win games.
Well, when you have a great defense and a great offense, the great defense is going to always get overlooked by the offense because, everybody wants to see the offense. That's the fashion of football. Everybody wants to see that. So the defensive players is basically the players that, get their job done, but, it's not pretty much overhyped and stuff. And we don't really mind that. Like, we just, try to put the least points on the board as possible and let the offense go out there and do their thing. And we would like a little bit of hype, because we know we, pretty good. But this week was the most, pretty much, the national championship was the most, like, when they really talked about how good our defense was, that really meant a lot to us because, we know we put in a lot of work this year.
It's definitely the offense sometimes gets a lot of the looks, but I wouldn't blame the people for looking over the defense sometimes with Percy Harvin, Tim Tebow, Murphy, Rainey Demps, all them dudes. I might look over us a little bit sometimes too, but we just want to come out there. The thing is, the coaching staff and the offense and all the players and stuff, they know what the defense is doing for the team because we holding other teams down and the offense scoring the points. So as long as we know what we're doing inside our circle, I think we're gonna be all right.
Major.
It kind of like hurts us to know that our offense end up getting all the hype. We get no look at all, and we get no look at all. But we the guys who we give them great field position on the field. We, like Stamp said, we give them the least amount of points on the board. It kind of like shocks us to know that we don't get that much luck.
We was on Sports Illustrated though. We was on Sports Illustrated.
Y'all on Sports Illustrated.
Yeah. Oh.
We were on Sports Illustrated. You guys are one of the best teams in the country at forcing turnovers. Oklahoma is one of the best of holding on to the ball. What's that matchup mean, and how do you cause a turnover? What's the key?
Well, pretty much causing the turnover is just putting pressure on the quarterback, not making them feel comfortable in the pocket, And that's what we have to do a great job of this game. Bradford Heisman Trophy winner, great quarterback. We just got to bring pressure, give different looks when we're not blitzing, make them think we're blitzing. When we're blitzing, make them think we're not blitzing, just confuse them a little bit. And then, we'll keep doing that. Then before you know it, put a guy in position to make the play, and he just got to make that play, get the turnover. And just, cause fumbles, when we hit, not just hit them, just try to rip the ball out and just make plays. Just be a playmaker out there.
Forced turnovers basically start with the front seven. Stamp, Spikes, Cunningham, those guys kind of get it going, kind of put pressure on them, make the quarterback, get the ball out of their hand quicker.
Because, our turnovers come a lot from, like May said, the front seven. They get pressure on the quarterback and cause, interceptions back in the secondary. So I think, getting better coverage on the wide receivers, get coverage sacks, and possibly making Sam Bradford fumble the ball a little bit, it could probably help. One man holding them up and strip the ball out of his hand.
Yeah, just relentless effort to the ball. Whenever he has the ball, just make sure whoever has the ball, the whole defense is going to swarm him. So if one person got him standing up, just don't let him fall down. Just hit him, try to get the strip. Once you know you're going on the ground, just try to strip the ball and stuff like that.
I know you guys are here to focus on football, but how do you feel about getting to do team events like hanging out on the beach tonight for a barbecue and stuff like that?
Well, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, with my man right there. But I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and I never been to South Florida. Farthest south I've been was Orlando. So all the palm trees and the beaches and the big hotels and all that is new for me. Probably just like Oklahoma, So, you know what I'm saying, it feels real good to be down here, you know, just seeing all the, you know what I'm saying, the water and the nice buildings and stuff like that. And just I didn't even know we had a barbecue, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the barbecue.
Me being from down south, I kind of see all the beaches and all the nice palm trees and stuff like that. But me being down here with my teammates and really spending time with them, it means a lot to me.
Being down south, you know, I got family down here, and I've been coming down here a lot, you know, growing up. So, you know, it's really nothing new to me, but you know, it's kind of exciting to, you know, be down here for the national championship. You know, it's something different for me. So.
Yeah, it's a whole lot different for me. I'm from up north around Maryland where it's cold. So being out here with the palm trees and all that stuff is real exciting. Just going out and then spending the time with like Major last night, just going out, hanging out, him showing me around, like this is his area, and just going out with him and stuff like that. It's just real fun.
It's been a long football season, but if I remember correctly, in the summer, the secondary in particular was very much maligned on this team. You guys got a bad rep. What changed for you guys? You know, you were thin at safety going into the fall, and what kind of turned things around and enabled you guys to play so well this season back there?
I would say the dedication, the off season that we really dedicated ourselves to this football season, saying that we're not going to let one another down. We will not have another season like that. Putting it all on the secondary, that would never happen again. A lot of guys, we kind of dedicating ourselves, watching more film, kind of doing things as one another, communicating out there on the field, and just kind of like just being around each other and kind of like just feeling everything around.
I felt like coming in, you know, I was same age as Major and Joe, but I felt like the young guy. You know, they started last year, so I came in, you know, kind of looking up to them, and I'm back there with Major, you know, helping me out, you know, along the way. And, you know, Demo got hurt, so, you know, Demo was still around helping me out, showing me the ropes. So I felt like I couldn't let the guys, you know, back there with me down, as well as the guys in front of me in the front seven. So, you know, doing my part and you know, hanging out with these guys and helping me out, you know, help me out and help the secondary out too.
Yeah, the thing about that was when we was walking here, like right before we got in the cars to come here, Coach Heater, he saw us walking with our jerseys on. He said, "What y'all about to do? Remember last year everybody was making fun of y'all." So I was like, "Yeah, Coach, what a difference it happens in a year." So the thing was basically the secondary. When we played against Michigan last year, we felt like it was a whole lot of our fault. But the thing that changed was last year we was all freshmen, really young, didn't really know what the college football game was like. Especially me, I was in high school. That was my first year ever playing corner. Major, he was a freshman too, just like me. So we felt like in the off season we knew we had to step it up if we were trying to go any farther than 9-4. So we felt like the big thing was we just had to work on our stuff, get in the film room. And one thing helped the corners out was Janoris definitely came in and stepped up a whole lot. And Coach Bradford came in and taught us a lot of different techniques. He was in the NFL, so he just taught us like just different stuff to watch when you watch film, routes and stick steps and all that stuff. So he helped us a whole lot.
Guys, we'll start with Ryan, and then just if all of you could talk about this. Coach Strong, if you could just talk, Ryan, about what he's like to play for, what kind of a person he is, and just for all of you guys, just how it is to play under Coach Strong.
Well, I personally think Coach Strong is one of those players, coaches, you know, one of those coaches that all the players love, gets along with all the players. And, I mean, he doesn't only, you know what I'm saying, put us in position to make plays and is a great coach, but, you know what I'm saying, like you can really talk to him for us, you know what I'm saying. Like I know probably there's teams where, you know, coaches all about football, you don't really too much get personal with you and talk to you and things like that. But Coach Strong could talk to you pretty much about anything. You could joke on him, talk about his bald head, and he doesn't take it personal or nothing, you know. So he's one of those kind of coaches, and just not one of those coaches that's just all about football. You know, he's you know what I'm saying, he can be a friend to you too. So
he's the coach that puts you in a win situation. He's a coach that when you're down, he can say a joke that make you like bring your whole day up. You can, like Steph said, you can crack on him. You can really go like be one of his like sons. I mean, he can be a dad to you. He can be a coach to you. He can be an uncle to you. He can be whatever you need for him. He's a coach that's always there for you in all situations.
Coach Strong, and he called everybody sorry. So, he called Spike sorry, and Spike's one of the best players on the team. So, like I say, he always joking around, and high energy type of coach, and he always got something to say, but in a positive way. Sometimes it's negative, but he's joking about it. He recruited me, so I'm kind of close with Coach. So, I call him up every once in a while. I text him. He text me. But all in all, he always there for you. He always put you in the right situations, and he's just a great guy.
Yep, same thing all them said. Just a real good dude. Just a person you could just talk to on and off the field. Just if you had like personal problems, since I'm far away from home, I could call up Coach Strong and talk to him. Since like my dad's not here or whatever, just call him up and talk to him about stuff besides football.
Say, Major, all right, you're coming back here to your old stomping grounds, and a lot of coaches put a lot of premium on players from winning programs, and obviously you come from one of the winningest programs around. Can you tangibly see the lessons that Coach Smith taught you, and do you see like how they have really impacted your ability to really succeed at the next level? Whereas not name names or anything, but players you observe on other teams or whatnot, maybe you don't come from great programs. I mean, what's the difference? What is the impact of playing for a great program like Aquinas made on you as a football player?
Coach Smith, my high school coach, he's a guy that really believes in discipline. He gets that point across every practice. I mean, he's one of those guys that this has to happen, and it's gonna happen. No matter how you do it, no matter how you say it, it's gonna happen. So he's one of those coaches that really like relies on discipline. He's a great coach. I feel like he taught me a lot. A lot of things that Coach Smith he did for me in high school, I see it like carrying over in college. I know saying that Lakeland they killed us in the state championship 3 years in a row. I seen them up there laughing, so I wanted to put that out there. But our coaches, I feel like Coach Smith really he disciplined us.
We've got time for one more question. Hand up. Okay, fellas, thank you for your time. Good luck to you.
All right, thank y'all.
Just get a chance to watch your brother.
Yeah.